Femi Adesina, we don't want an airstrike in Nigeria. This is written by Tolu. What exactly does Femi Adesina, the special advisor on media and publicity to President Muhammadu Buhari, mean when he said that no one appointed America as the world police? Or what is he driving at when he warned the United States, the United Kingdom and the European Union to stop interfering in Nigeria's affairs? Additionally, while reacting to a US report that includes Nigeria as one of the countries with religious freedom violations, blasted the US government for speaking about Nigeria. In international relations, you respect the internal affairs of other countries. The US itself has enough to chew, solving its own problems, not to talk of poking into that of another country. These are the words of additional. And he went further to say, no man, no country, nobody has appointed them the policeman of the world. Let them face their own issues, Mr. Additional said. Since Femi Additional knows that nobody appointed the US as the world police, he could have simply told us who is the world police or appoint one for us. To whom much is given, much is expected. Of the truth, as the presidential advisor, you have to defend your principle at all times. But in the same vein, we need to tread with caution, especially while reacting to issues of foreign affairs. Although Femi Adesina, in an interview on Channels Television Policies Today program, said that Nigeria is a sovereign nation and will not be bothered about the reports from the foreign countries. But if reports coming from Iran is anything to go by, then Nigeria should really be bothered by what other foreign countries say. Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani, who was killed in US airstrike in Iraq early Friday, was also one of President Trump's social media antagonists. Just like Additional did, Soleimani had in 2018 stepped in to defend the Iranian president against Trump on social media. The Trump administration was engaged that year in a pressure campaign against Iran, whose President Hassan Rouhani warned in July that America should know that peace with Iran is the mother of all peace and war with Iran is the mother of all wars. But Soleimani stepped in to defend Rouhani. It is not in our president's dignity to respond to you, he told Trump via Iran's Tamsni news agency. If you begin the war, we will end the war. You know that this war will destroy all that you possess, he also said. The end of Soleimani's story is now an history, but there's also a great lesson to be learned for presidential spokespersons and government officials who make utterances and issue statements against foreign officials without regard for its possible consequences. A Yoruba proverb says, you know, he quoted the Yoruba this thing, say meaning you don't bear a name the expectations of which you cannot meet. In other words, you don't bite more than you can chew. Nigeria is now on the United States special watch list for severe violations of religious freedom, human rights violations, and amongst others. Any statement that does not diplomatically correct this impression about our country could have grave consequences. Certainly, we don't want an airstrike in Nigeria. And somebody needs to tell Femi Adesina, Lai Mohammed, and other presidential advisors. Wow. Honestly, they always say a word is enough for the wise. I'm sure this writer, in a nutshell, is trying to advise all these presidential spokesperson, advisors, and all of that. When Femi Adesina made such statements, everybody just like, what is really wrong with this man? Everybody just believes that, okay, he's trying to fight for his own pockets, he's defending his job. Of course, he's going to defend his principle. And just like what this writer said, that in as much you are doing that, you need to be careful. You need to tread, with caution. A typical example is the case of Dasuki and what is this man's name? The former president, Goodluck Jonathan. Did you hear anything? Did you hear him saying anything the whole period that that man was there for 4 years. He didn't say anything. And meanwhile, he he acted on the directives of the president, of his boss. And why the man was there, whether he was saying anything or was doing some things, behind the scene that are not known to Nigerians, whether he was speaking on his behalf or speaking for him, but at least from what we have gathered, from what we have seen, for what we have experienced for the period of 4 years before the man was released just last month, he never said anything. And meanwhile, he worked under, there was no way that the former president wouldn't have known all that transpired. When the president's administration accusing him that the fund meant for so and so was not used for that purpose. And the ideal thing would have been, okay, who asked you to do it? Your boss. Okay, they should just play everything from beginning to the end, know who and who is involved. But because of the way things are being done in this country, they never even talked about the former president, but the man suffered for it. And there was no way he would have done all that he did or what they accused him of in isolation. There was no way he would have done that. So these people should just be careful. Most of the time people always like, Femi Adesina does not know what he's talking about because he's always coming to defend. But even though, of course, it is a natural thing for you to defend your principal or to defend your job, but you got to be careful. So now that he was saying, who made the American the policeman of the world, they are prognosing into other people's affairs. Oh, Nigeria is a sovereign country. That thing can sweet them. Nigeria is a sovereign country, and yet you cannot do things in accordance. You cannot do things the way it ought to be done. Nothing. They just like to use that word. When they are doing things that are not really right. That is when they will be quoting that word. Nigeria is a sovereign state. We can, this and that. Since 1960 till date, no meaningful achievement. No meaningful achievement. That is my opinion, and I know it is what I'm experiencing. So maybe you are experiencing good governance, you have experienced good things, the way a saner environment should look. Whether you are experiencing all of that, good and fine for you. But to me, I can say it categorically. So they need to really be careful when you talk about, oh, we are sovereign country. What have you done? What have you brought to the table? What have you done that other countries can even emulate you? Why can't we do the same thing? Most of the time we always say, what is there that you always go elsewhere, you see what is happening, what is obtaining there, what is obtainable there, but they won't do it. Just copy and paste. He's not supposed to give you stress, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. They just want to continue to keep their people, in perpetual suffering, so that they will be thriving. Because in the suffering of the masses, that is where they thrive. But they don't know that, because if they really think deeply, what do you want to eat? What do you want to get? That because of that you are depriving millions of people from living a good life, and you will come and tell us, oh, a sovereign country, this and that. And that is why this writer is like, you need to now know whether they have whether they have responsibility, or they have the duty, or they have that power, or they have a whatever, I don't know how to put it, to interfere in another person's country. You know that these people that you are talking about, they are so powerful. Maybe he just came out to just like, he just wanted to say something. The man, Femi Adesina, wanted to say something, and everybody was just like, this guy, the way you are going, this your utterances must be guided. You must be careful. He has been like that since the inception of this government. He will talk to the masses, oh, wailing wailers. He will tell you, oh, nobody cares. The people who are talking, they are just, from the minority. I'm sure that the minority, includes the American government too, that they wrote to them that Showore and Dasuki should be released. So who is fooling who? So of course, those who are chanting their praises will continue to chant their praises. Like what the writer said, you have to be careful for the fact that you are defending your job, you are defending your pockets, and most importantly, you are defending your principal. You need to be careful when you are dealing with, say, you know, international bodies. I hope they will get that he invites him again now, and he will hear what he's going to say. He will say worse things than what he has said before. He will say that because that man, just like we always say on the streets, he get bad mouth. The man get bad mouth because you could even see, even from his colleague, Gaba Shehu, that one, like, he still picks his words. But this man will always come and say some things that infuriate people. And you guys say you are working for the masses. You don't want masses to criticize you. You don't want to get your scorecard from the masses that you think that you are protecting or you are working for. So guys, that is just the whole thing. Someone say it is the next level, and someone say thank you for the advice. He will have here, let him hear the truth. So guys, what do you think? And let's hear your opinion. Leave your comments below respectfully in the comment section. Bye.